I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737-777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. This is your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 199. And oh my gosh, can you believe we're one episode short of 200 episodes? That is exciting, especially since this is just, really a dream that I just decided to put together. Not a dream, I would say, but just an idea or a thought that just kind of just came through. And I just said, look, let's just take action on it. And 200 episodes later, we are still here. So I appreciate all you listeners who continue to show us love, show us support, and we're just excited to be here. So today's episode, we're going to talk about imagination. And the reason why I want to do this episode for you all is because I think that we need to dream bigger. We talk a lot about freedom. Of course, that's what this podcast is all about, is freedom. And I talk about one of the biggest things to gaining that freedom is to have your passive income greater than your expenses. And we share all kind of ideas, from philosophies, mindset, different strategies. We've talked about ways to have freedom in every area of your life. But I want to talk today to really stretch your mind, to stretch your belief level, to things that you may not have even thought about or have considered. And so let's jump right in. So I want you to, I'm just going to, read off some things that I want you to just kind of just think about. Just think about it. All right. And so imagine if you could take one-way flights all over the world for a month or for however long you want. I mean, maybe you never thought about that, but just imagine you take a one way here, stay for a little while, take a one way there. I mean, you don't have any like concept of, oh, we got to be back by this time, and we're running out of money. Like, that's not even a thought. You can just go as long as you want, stay as long as you want, and you can go on to the next person, the next place, and just keep on doing that until you just feel like, okay, I want to go home. Right? So just imagine that. Imagine that you were debt free and you knew you didn't owe anybody but to love them. Imagine that you were able to just go volunteer for your favorite charity. I mean, you could do that now, of course, but I mean, just imagine you can do it as often or as long as you want, or wherever it is. Like, maybe you needed to travel to another state or even another country, and you were able to just go volunteer in Africa and just serve on a different level. Imagine if you were able to go to a college and just pay off someone's tuition. Now, hey, I'm not negating that many of you who listen to this podcast already can do some of these things, but I just want to open up your dream space for those who maybe some of these things you've never thought about, never even considered. I want to open up your dream space. And so imagine writing out a check. Actually, one of my mentors did this. He wrote out a check to his grandparents and said, "Grandma, you are now retired, and you no longer have to work anymore." And she said, "Great day in the morning, boy, you rich." Right? And she said, you have arthritis, you cannot work anymore, you are now retired." And he literally writes her out a check, and she hadn't worked ever since. Imagine being able to do that type of thing for your loved ones. Imagine being able to retire your spouse. Imagine going up to your spouse's job in a limo with flowers and maybe a band. Maybe you guys have seen that old Steve Harvey meme or something like that. It was years ago. But just imagine going up to someone's job with that whole situation going on, and like almost embarrassing her in some ways, but not really embarrassing her because she no longer has to work at that job anymore. She is now retired, and she's like, "What in the world is going on?" And you're like, "Hey, this is your last day at work." And you're like, "What do you mean?" Like you never talked about it, but you have all the preparation, you have all the plans, you have everything in place where she would never have to go back to that job ever again. Imagine being able to do that. The smile that would be on their face, the excitement, the joy that they would have. Imagine flying in their favorite recording artist. One of my mentors did this as well, flying in their favorite record. Actually, two of my mentors have done this. But just imagine flying in whoever your loved ones is favorite recording artist, just because you could, and they were able to perform for them. Imagine going out and getting one of your loved ones' favorite car, and there was a big old red bow, and you had it in the driveway and said, "Hey, here's the keys." Or imagine taking your parents to this nice house, and you say, "Hey, this let's just check this house out, see how it looks," and they love it. Look like, "Oh my God," they're gasping about the whole thing, and then you put the keys in their hand and say, "Hey, this is your house." They're like, "Wait, what do you mean this is my house? This is your new house." Now, Les Brown did that for his mom, and there's a lot of people who've done that. But just imagine you're able to now do that. Imagine getting deposits every single day passively, right? You just wake up to deposits. I've been fortunate to experience that. So I know what that feels like. And there's no there's no greater feeling. Imagine being able to take your whole family on a cruise. I mean, you paying for everybody. Let's just say the cruise was 800 to 1,000 a pop. That didn't matter. You took everybody and you paid for them, maybe 20 or 30 of them. Just imagine being able to do that. Imagine going to special places around the world and creating memories, going to Egyptian tombs and pyramids and going to the Eiffel Tower. I mean, again, some of you guys have already done some of these things, but just to imagine being able to do it on a greater level with the people who you love, with no restrictions, no money restrictions, no time restrictions. Imagine being able to, you know, fly. Well, I mentioned that already, but just imagine being able to do things on a different level. I just want you to just think that. I want you to even get pictures of all these things that I'm talking about. Like get pictures in your head of these things. And I want you to just think about it at night. Think about the excitement that you would have. Now, the more you think about it and the clearer the pictures are that play almost like a movie in your head, I promise you, the sooner those things are going to happen. But you got to imagine it first. You got to believe it. You got to even see it in your mind's eye. I like to say, close your natural eyes and open up your spiritual eyes and see some things that you've never seen before that you are destined to have. You are supposed to have. You were meant for it. You were born for it. But you just got conditioned with the paradigms that you live in. I heard someone say that our paradigm is in the driver's seat of our life, and the paradigm is just the thoughts. Thoughts repeated over time become beliefs, and those beliefs become how we operate our lives, sometimes on autopilot, not even thinking about it, because it's just what we've seen. We saw daddy go to work every day, you saw mom go to work every day, you saw your parents struggle, so you felt like you needed to struggle in order to operate the correct way as a human being. We've seen certain things and experienced certain things, and now that's our reality. So I want you to start getting a new imagination. Imagination mixed with vision equals reality. So if you can imagine it, and if you can get the right vision, a clear picture, because the mind thinks in pictures, not in words. If I were to say, don't think of a pink elephant, what are you thinking about? A pink elephant. So I want you to get the picture, get the right picture of what you want in your head, and keep it there. Keep it as often as you can, preferably before you go to bed and when you wake up. Those are the best times that you could do it. But hey, do it all throughout the day. Anytime you need to, recall that movie in your head of what's your life. See, someone said, instead of replaying the past, pre-play the future. Instead of replaying the past, pre-play the future, and you get to pre-play any future that you want. So listen, I hope you guys got some exciting value. I'm getting myself excited already from this doing this episode, and I hope you guys got some good stuff from this episode 199, and I can't wait to see you at the next one. All right, welcome to our book club segment, and we're reading the book "The Power of One More" by Ed Milet, and we're winding it down. I'm not sure how many of you have actually gotten the book, and what we're doing. The whole goal of this segment is that I would love to connect with you all, and we started a book club. If you want to join our community that we have, go to thewaytofreedom.info. That's thewaytofreedom.info. You can check it out in the show notes. But there, what we're doing is we love to just talk with you and engage with you about what you're getting from the book. I love to know, hey, what are you getting? What's the nugget that's really showing up for you? And I'm going to share just on the air here what kind of nuggets that I'm getting. And that way we can grow together. That's what the whole thing is. That's why they call things like this a mastermind, because you got one mind and another mind that comes together and makes a stronger mind, and it's just iron sharpening iron. So I would love to hear your thoughts. I love to know from you all. I would even love to share it on the air what so and so said about what they're getting from the book. So definitely post that. Feel free to post that in the group, and I'll probably do a video on that so that you guys know that you're welcome to post your ideas on the book that we're reading here. So again, it's The Power of One More by Ed Milet. And really what I want to talk about out of chapter 9 is one more goal, because he says goals are energy, and I think that's so important because sometimes people lack purpose, and so anything ends up going. Dr. Miles Monroe said, where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. So a purpose is almost really like a goal, right? I mean, it's slightly different because a purpose is more like what you work hard to do. Your purpose is something that brings you fulfillment. Now that can happen through a goal, but just understand that a purpose is more designed to be what your life mission is almost about, if that makes sense. So he said goals are energy, and it creates corresponding standards. I love that. He talks about having a compelling reason that drives you to achieve certain goals. And so I just want to ask, do you have a goal? And what is your goal? And also, do you have a deadline for that goal? That's important because, if you don't have a deadline, it's like you don't don't have a there's this thing called the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. And basically, we tend to do 80% of the work in the last 20% of the time. So if you don't have a deadline, then you're not giving yourself that opportunity for it to get finished a lot of times because there is no deadline. So it's almost like I'm off the hook because I don't have a deadline. So set deadlines, set measurements, set benchmarks, set all of those things to propel you and give you that energy to push forward, right? And so, he talks about making sure your goal is specific. Of course, you guys have heard about the SMART goals. We've talked about goals on this podcast a lot of times. So I'm not going to re-go over all the stuff about goals, but I love how he said goals are energy, because sometimes we can just be existing through life because we don't have certain goals. So I just want to encourage you today to start setting some goals. And hey, maybe you set some small goals. You know what I did? We'll talk about this on one of the episodes, but I set a goal to make my bed every single day. I've been doing it for a week now. Now I know some of you guys, maybe you were in the military or something like that, and you already do that. But I wasn't doing it. So I decided I was going to do it. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel accomplished. I mean, something so small, it seems so insignificant, but it's everything. And so set little goals like that. Set a goal to surprise your wife once a week with a gift or whatever her love language is or his love language is, right? Set a goal to do something special for your kids. Set little goals in every area of your life. Set a goal to do 10 push-ups a day or whatever, 10 sit-ups a day, and just keep building on those goals. And so anyway, that's just what I wanted to talk about is just that goals are energy, and it fuels you, because when you hit that goal, oh my goodness, you feel super incredible. You feel accomplished. You feel like you can conquer anything. And now you're already ready to overtake the next goal. And then it just keeps going from there. So keep on going, keep pressing. And this was a great chapter here in the book. Talk to you guys soon. And I can't wait to engage with you guys in our Facebook group. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.